So welcome to WTF, Stories and Advice. I'm Caroline Cranshaw, hypnotherapist and major shit talker. And we had such an amazing response to the last podcast we did with the Mr. Jimi Hunt, mental fitness coach and all-around fucking badass motherfucker. So he's back. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
That's such an understated Kiwi way to say.
Yeah. So yeah, I am a badass motherfucker. There you go.
I don't like to do traditional introductions. And today we thought we would talk about self-sabotage because it's something we all do. And I think it's something that we continue to do throughout our lives. And we get to certain points and we call it peeling the layers of the onion. But I think we just had a little bit of a chat and noticed that it was something we both were possibly struggling with a little bit or noticing that we do.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So for you, do you feel like self-sabotage is an issue? Tell me about it for you.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, you have to define self-sabotage because I think I would describe my condition more as like a fear of success.
Yeah.
And so I think self-sabotage and fear of success can go together quite well, but they can also be mildly separate. And so I don't really go out of my way to sabotage in any sort of big visceral way. Mm-hmm. I'm more very subtle laziness and just letting opportunities slide by rather than actual sabotage. It's a form of sabotage, absolutely, but I'm more in that camp.
And that's exactly how I would say I do it. I don't tend to blow it up, which...
you told me that you blew it up the other day. Thank you very much. This is exactly why I was making the definition between the subtle ways that I self-sabotage and the big fucking sabotage blow-up shit that you do, okay?
Fuck you, Jimmy. God damn it.
So tell the people about that.
Okay, let's see. I've definitely sabotaged.
About the text message.
Yes. Okay, so I do new moon wishes every month. I don't know if you know anything about that, but on the new moon, you write 10 wishes that you want to have manifest so I do this every month as a goal exercising, and it is an amazing technique. Absolutely amazing. It
actually works? You like it?
100%. It actually works.
I need to start doing it.
Oh, yeah. I'll send you some info on it, but even if it's just a goal-setting exercise, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I'll try anything. Like like this is the thing. I'm open to anything. I'll try anything. You tell me that works, then sure, I'll give it a go for a couple of months and see what happens. Yeah.
So what's funny is I was like, when you were saying that you just let opportunity slide by, and I totally 100% in that moment believed that I was the same. I was like, I didn't even remember that incident. I'll see if I can find the actual text. So one of the things I wrote into my here we go. God. Into my new moon wishes. Fuck me. I just can't believe. And I said, I want a few more radio and media opportunities. And within 2 days, I was contacted by a radio station that was interested in doing some content with me and a TV show that was interested in having me be an expert. Really good opportunities. So with the radio show, what they wanted me to do initially was to help the two hosts of the show quit smoking. And they have a brand new radio show. They're under a lot of pressure. They're very well known. We tee up a time. We're 10 minutes away from them having me on for the first time just to talk about it and what we're going to do and all of this. And then they send me a text and saying, actually, sorry, we need to reschedule the interview for later down the road. The guys are pushing back quitting because they're just a bit too stressed and not really ready this week. So my response was, all good. It's important to be ready to stop sucking Big Tobacco's dick. And then I was like, oh, fuck, too far? Too far. Safe to say I haven't been on the show.
Dear radio station, I have actually reconsidered my offer and I would not like to do this segment anymore. By the way, suck my dick.
Oh, no. Yeah, and the guy, I think he took about 4 hours to get back to me. And he did. And he said, ha, ha, ha. Oh, yeah, I think the guys have tried in the past but haven't been able to or something. And then I said some, nice message, and I haven't heard back ever since. Yeah, so that was one way I sabotaged myself.
Okay, hold on there. Let's break that down.
Yeah.
Now, what was your conscious thought at the time of writing that text messages, or did you not have any?
Well, first of all, I was a little bit fucked off to be literally at the last second cancel. I thought,
yeah. But that's not a big deal, and that's the way media works.
Yeah, I know. I've done it enough. I should know this. And
exactly.
I thought it would be funny. I'm I think it's fucking hilarious to this day. I think it is really funny. A man who was wanting to quit smoking, who's someone who's going to hypnotize them, sends them a message like that, they might have second thoughts about allowing that woman to hypnotize them. So I think my conscious thought was, oh, I'm just going to be funny. Because I make comments like that all the time. I talk about how your dick's not going to work if you're a smoker and all kinds of crap.
But it's also not appropriate at that time.
No. But I do have ADHD, and part of ADHD is what they...
Don't blame your behaviors on diagnoses.
Well, I can't help it. It's not my fault. In the moment, I didn't think I was sabotaging. I thought I was just being funny, and I thought they would get a laugh. And then when I read it to the people close to me, they were like, what in the actual fuck were you thinking? And I'm like, well, I don't think I was, and that's the problem.
Mm. Yeah, and so this is the subconscious self-sabotage that rears its head in these times.
Well, I'm going to make it really, so you're really not going to want me back.
It's imposter syndrome styles.
So one of the books that I find really, really good talking about this topic is a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And fantastic book. The concept in the book he talks about is how we have this upper limit. And that upper limit can be always getting bigger, but we get to a certain point and then we start to feel uncomfortable, like it's too far. Like we meet the love of our lives, everything's going great, and so we feel uncomfortable or guilty, like I can't be this happy, I'm not good enough to be this happy, and so we'll do something to sabotage. And it's in different areas of our life. I know I used to do it in relationships. I thought I used to do it in career, but I think as I'm going to those upper limits, then obviously I've still got a lot of work to do to get rid of this.
Okay, so I haven't read the book, but is basically the upper limit your self-worth?
I think so. I mean, the way he explains it, it's like a thermostat. That setting determines how much love, success, or creativity we'll allow ourselves to have. And when we exceed that setting or we get up to the high point of it, we'll do something to sabotage so that we can go back into that old familiar feeling. And I think it goes into childhood. I think that it can happen with siblings, like you don't want to outshine your siblings. It's very much in the culture of New Zealand, like not to be too big, not that, and that's not so much of a thing in America. But it's just interesting. We can have these little things where people are like, oh, well, you shouldn't try to be better than your siblings or friends, or it's these different experiences. But I think it's just important to see where we're doing it, where we have a limit.
I think we can split up the categories a bit as well, because I can speak just from my own personal example in regards to my relationship. I deserve everything.
Yeah.
And I have everything. I have a beautiful, wonderful marriage, and a very, very good relationship, and I deserve that. I don't like the word deserve anyway, but I'm worthy of that. Same with my friendships and the people that I surround myself with. I'm worthy of being surrounded by wonderful, beautiful, uplifting, lovely people. Absolutely. My personal thing where I have a cap on that thermostat is in my career. because I do have that. There is a bit of it. I'm no expert in this topic, but there is a bit of a difference between imposter syndrome and fear of success. And so I don't feel like an imposter where I am right now. And I don't feel like I'm an imposter if I get even bigger. If you put me on a TV show, if you put me anywhere else, I wouldn't feel like an imposter in that regard. But what I do have a fear of is the repercussions of being successful, which is most people have a fear of failure, and I have a fear of success. And that it feels to me like I am afraid of the work that involves of being successful. I'm afraid of the scrutiny that's involved with being successful. Okay, I'll tell you about a weird dream I had the other night.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yep.
It's a weird dream. So I started dating Lorde, the singer. And I think the reason it was her was because she was advertising her new album on Spotify just before I went to sleep. And so I think that's why it was her. And so we were dating, and I have become famous by association. And now more people are reading my books. Now more people are listening to my podcast. Now my profile has gone up so much. Now I get a lot of people criticizing me and going, what he wrote isn't correct. That's not the actual proper scientific research behind that, even though everything I write, I try and make sure that's the case. I just feel the scrutiny and just the scrutiny basically of that. And then I'm like, I'm going to have to actually now work real harder because people know, when's your next book? Oh, shit, I've actually got to write my 4th book now. And then I've got to actually do all these things. And so that's scary to me. I follow and am proudly followed by a woman called the Holistic Psychologist on Instagram. She has 4.2 million followers, and she gets so much fucking shit. Like, so much shit.
Yeah, I follow her too.
And like, she's helping millions of people, and she's not being harmful, but she is sort of challenging the status quo in a lot of ways to a mainstream audience and getting chopped down by the mainstream audience. And maybe it is because I'm from New Zealand and we have this history of what's called the tall poppy syndrome, where we chop down people who think that they're good at anything or achieve at anything.
Yeah.
No, bring you back down to earth to be the same as us. And so, like, I can't be fucked with that. It's just not something that I want in my life, to have to fight those battles. I have a beautiful, lovely life, and I don't. But I think, without trying to be, arrogant or anything, I think that I have the skills and the wisdom to be a lot bigger than I currently am. And I have people around me that also think that's the case, but I keep sabotaging myself in subtle ways to make sure that I'm not that big, so I don't have to do that work and suffer those ramifications of that.
So for you would say it's a fear that you're going to have to work a lot harder.
Yeah.
And you're going to have a lot more scrutiny.
Yeah. Yeah. But I've also, I'll add one more thing, which is through sort of self-reflection and meditation, I kind of figured out where my fear of success comes from at a childhood trauma level. And it's simply that my father was the CEO of a pretty big company. And he raised us very well. He taught us the value of $1. I started my first business at 8 and always had something on the go and working. And I got sent to what was the most expensive school in New Zealand. And like the student car park at that school was worth millions of dollars more than the teacher car park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the problem was the school I went to was not old money. Like, old money people have come to terms that they're wealthy. My school was new wealth, new money. And it was very much the parents, they were in the frame of, I will give my children everything I never had. And so they absolutely spoiled the kids. And I'm talking about brand new Audis for a 16-year-old. I'm talking about like just everything that a child could want. They were spoiled with it. And a lot of the kids there were just straight fuckwits because of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like I fitted into that. And so I had this really strong image of rich people equal fuckwits. And the one thing I want in friends and partners and relationships of all kind is that they are lovely. That's my number one overriding trait that I look for in everything in my life. And these people were not lovely. These people were fuckwits. And so I have this very strong connection between money and fuckwits. That means that if I get in a place where I'm going to be successful, then success equals money, and then money equals I will become a fuckwit. And I'm actually more afraid of becoming a fuckwit than I am of being successful. But they so strongly correlate that that's where that comes from.
I had a similar experience at school. Like, I had friends that got Porsches and BMWs for 16th birthday, which is just insanity to me even now. And I don't care how much money you have. That's ridiculous. But yeah, it's just interesting. I think that's a lot of what people feel, is that rich people are assholes, or no one's going to like you, or you're going to turn into a dickhead and be rude and be shallow.
I've met plenty of lovely rich people since then.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah, plenty of lovely rich people. A lot of my friends are very wealthy and very, very lovely. But I've been unable to break that association subconsciously, I think.
So going back to your dream, there's this really interesting technique for dream analysis where you can figure out what the underlying belief is. It sounds like you really figured it out in some ways. But so you describe the dream as if it happened, which you did. Was there an ending to it? So you were just dating her and you were like, oh, fuck, I'm really going to have to step up my game.
Yeah, I mean, this is the part of the annoying thing. Didn't even have sex with her. She was my girlfriend. So it wasn't even a fun dream in that way. No, I was on tour with her, and because I can do my work from anywhere, I can go on tour with a pop star and work from wherever. And so the dream was just me traveling around with her and doing my work, but now my work was under intense scrutiny, and I felt like I had to actually work so much more rather than what I usually do, play tennis and sit on the beach.
Okay, so now what you do is you describe the dream from another character's point of view.
Okay.
So.
Which one? There's only one other real character in the dream.
All right, so you're Lord.
Look at that. Didn't expect to be Lord today, but hello, I am Lord. Mm-hmm. Hello, Caroline.
Hello, Lord.
I have this lovely new boyfriend. Mm-hmm. He's really lovely. He's really smart and he's really cool, and I'm really happy to be with him. And I'm really happy that he has a job that can actually fit in with my job, and we can actually travel together rather than having to leave each other at home. That's it. She's proud of me. She likes my stuff.
So what do you think is going on for Jimmy now that he's dating like one of the biggest stars in the world?
He's absolutely comfortable and fine with that, and that's what I like about him, that he doesn't treat me any differently, and he's just cool. But he doesn't really like the people that get on social media and say a bunch of shit about him and pick apart his stuff, and I think he's a little bit insecure about that stuff.
Yeah. So what do you think he needs to do to get over that?
Just get the fuck over it.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know. I'm a pop star. I don't know how to fix it.
Well, I'm sure it's something you've come across before, if you're dating a man who isn't an international pop star like you.
Yeah, well, like, he's not jealous of me. He's not jealous that I make all the money. He actually loves the fact that I make all the money and he doesn't have to do anything if he didn't want to.
Yeah.
So, our relationship's fine. Yeah. I really enjoy our relationship. I just wish that he would become who he wants to become. Well, not who he wants to become, who he could become.
Yeah.
Who I think he could become.
And who do you think he could become?
I think he could just shine like a big bright star and be wonderful to so many people, however that looks.
And do you think he does that already?
I think his light is dimmed. And I think we could just take the cover off that and let it shine bright, and he could actually be something that makes significant change to many people in the world.
Cool. So how could he do that? Do you have any advice?
I can sort of shit out. I'm a pop star, remember? I don't know the answers to this.
Well, I'm sure, Lord, that you went through that similar experience, didn't you? You got a lot of criticism. I don't know. Yeah, I was just wondering if you had any advice for Jimmy.
Yeah. Yeah, I just ran away and did my own thing.
Well, I happen to know Lord did go to hypnotherapy.
Oh, did she? Oh, there we go.
Not with me. So interesting. It's a really good technique, and what you can do is you can go to different characters in the dream and get them to interact and talk to each other, and it's fascinating.
Yeah. So, everything that Lord said then is actually just everything my wife says. So my wife is not an international pop star, but
could be.
That was the perspective.
She's got the look for it.
She does have the look for it, not quite the voice.
Yeah, well, neither do I.
and so like it's easy for me to play Lord's part because I can just hear my wife say those things because she said them to me so many times. And just like Lord, she's like, I'm a pop star and I don't know how to help you.
It's interesting. I think it is. So there's some upper limit. There's some belief that you're going to be a wanker if you get really wealthy. Do you believe you have to work incredibly hard to be successful?
No, I do not. I believe that if I sit down and I plug into the greater consciousness, I can get it in 2 minutes and share that with the world. I do believe that, but then I've actually got to spend the time writing all that out. So, yeah, that's not really a big part of it. I think the biggest part of it is I am a sensitive soul.
Yeah.
And I have a really simple purpose on this planet, and that is to relieve suffering in anybody that I can. And I do a very good job at that. I get letters every day from people telling me how I do that, and it's a beautiful thing, and I love it. But if anyone says, and this is the truth is, I don't get any shit on social media. No one says bad things about me. No one writes me bad letters. Like, I don't get any bad stuff, but I'm scared of it.
Well, I have, especially radio. I got a lot of bad shit. Not a lot, but some pretty cruel comments.
Yeah.
But it goes back, and the people who I worked with were like, well, you're a fucking loser if you haven't been ripped down yet. Like, that's a sign that you're making it and you're expressing your opinion and you're being yourself, because you're not for everybody.
Yeah. But no one rips down the Dalai Lama. He's, there are people who, are just there for the greater good.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
They're not getting, there's always idiots. But I understand, I understand inherently the concept of hurt people.
Yeah.
I can see their perspective. I can understand why they may be triggered in certain circumstances and lash out because of that. And I know it's actually got nothing to do with me, because I know that what comes out of my heart is actually pure. And so, like, I've got a video on my Instagram I did a talk at a trucking company in the Waikato, and it was to 100 truckers. And this guy at the end in the Q&A, the first guy stands up and he's like, I can't believe you use swear words like that. You're possessed by the devil. You're fucking. I was like, bro, you're swearing. Why? How are you swearing at me? And I can't remember the exact insult, but basically he called me the fucking devil like about 5-6 times in a 5-minute rant that nobody stopped. And I was just like, I've just given my mental fitness talk that is nothing but like, here's how we can help each other and here's how I can help you. And I'm just like, whoa. And like when someone's attacking you like that, it hurts. Like even if you know this is just some unhinged psycho dude.
Yeah.
And then he sat down and I just went, any other questions?
Jesus.
And it was just silent. And I was like, oh, shit.
Well, on that note.
And then, about 30 seconds later, a guy stood up and he said, oh, all due respect to you, Trevor, I don't think all of us agree with that. And I personally have got a lot out of this. And I was like, oh. And, like 50 of them came up and shook my hand afterwards. But when I finished and I was sitting in the car, even though I know I'm not the fucking devil,
no.
And this guy had some sort of fucking breakdown at me, and he's a hurt person lashing out for whatever reason, I don't want to have to deal with that. I don't want to have to deal with those people. I don't want to have to be subjected to that sort of talk. And, that's you'd say that's an isolated incident, and it is in my professional career of speaking, but it's not an isolated incident online because people are horrible online. And so yeah, like that's probably I just don't want to have to deal with fuckwits. I just can't be bothered, and I don't want to. And I'm afraid that if I do better work or bigger work, then I'll just have an increase of dealing with that shit.
Well, you will. I'm probably not going to help.
Yeah, I know.
You will. And I don't think there would have been a person in that room that would have thought, oh, yeah, that guy deserves that. Like, yeah that's what he gets. I think it's that shaming other people shows that we are repressing a shame within ourselves. It's something we are suppressing. And so when we judge and shame other people, it's a way to let it out, right? But it's really sad. But it says everything about them and nothing about you. I
rationally 100% know that, and there's absolutely, like, even with online comments, again, people are fucking lovely to me. Like, I don't get bad comments online. And so I just seem to be afraid of something that doesn't exist yet, and may not even exist if I get that big. And even if I get big enough to get that sort of stuff, well, I'm actually very, very, very well equipped to deal with it. I dealt with him perfectly. I turned it into a lesson that helped a lot of people online. I got over it, as quickly as humanly possible. It was like inherently a positive experience in the end, but I still don't want to have to deal with that stuff all the time. Yeah. Because it's not fun in the moment.
Well, I think the more you focus on it, the more you worry about it, the more you're going to get it, right?
Of course.
Because I think we just attract it. But I think...
Correct.
I know for myself as well, when I've gotten some pretty nasty, especially emails, I've turned around and gone, are you okay? Is there something I can help you with? Because you sound to me like you're in pain. And
I do that all the time to people, yeah.
Yeah, and they turn around and go, I want to be a therapist, and I got mad at you. And so I look at a lot of those as it's an opportunity to help somebody to still be kind.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've had a slight little breakthrough in my own psyche right now, which is that I think it's just dropped in that I fully understand that I am more qualified, more capable of dealing with that shit than 99% of people out there. Yeah. And so if anybody should be dealing with it, it should actually just be me.
Exactly.
So I shouldn't be afraid of that.
No, and I think those are the people that need the help the most. So if they do
of course.
That, And now, I mean, they passed some laws in New Zealand where it's really fucking illegal to make nasty comments. So I don't know. Well, it all depends.
Have they?
Yeah. With the digital, what do they call it? The digital protection. I did a whole show about this, but now I can't remember. Right. You can't be incredibly mean. There's repercussions now. They're trying to stop online bullying.
Right. Yeah. You can't say, "Oh, go kill yourself," or "I'll kill you," or stuff like that.
Yeah. But I think you can get in trouble for a lot less.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or I just go delete all the comments if they ever came in bad. But I mean, if I did something, if I wrote something, if I said something that actually got multiple bad comments, then I'd actually probably have to really look at that and go, hey, did that come from a pure place? Like, is that just triggering some random people, or have you really actually missed the mark here and you need to you rethink what you're writing? Because there's a difference between disagreement and vitriol online.
Yeah.
Like, if people want to disagree with one of my ideas or comments or insights, then fucking go ahead. Like, let's have a debate on that. I've got zero dramas with people disagreeing with my stuff. It's just the actual vitriol that I don't want to deal with. And again, I don't even have to fucking deal with it. Like, no one does that to me.
Yeah, so it's interesting how it's a fear, but it's not really. I mean, that would have been a bad experience. But then, like you said, you can turn stuff around. I did a whole bunch of corporate training all around New Zealand, and inevitably we'd always get one in the class that'd be like, wrong, that's not right, nah, and I'd be like, oh my God. And so I just started going up to them, like whoever it was in the group, and I'd be like, hey, I just love constructive feedback and criticism, but could you just write it all down and then give it to me at the end? That'd be so helpful. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. And at the end, they would give me like a whole bunch of advice, and like I actually really improved from it. And there was very little that some people thought I was too woo-woo, but hey, I probably am. But I thought, well, how can I turn this around to actually improve? It's always ways of integrating it. And with what he said, it's so off the mark, right? Like calling you the devil.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's just it. With criticism, you have to be able to sit down and get really quiet with yourself and really objectively look at this and go, is what they said true?
Yeah.
And then you have to look at that and you go, fuck, maybe I can't even be objective about this right now. Maybe I need to bring someone else to help me be objective of this. Hey, this is what someone said. Do you think they have a point? And they're like, no. Like, what the fuck? Not even close. And you're like, yeah, that's what I thought. No. So therefore, that is a hurt person hurting people, lashing out and putting their trauma back onto you. But if that person's like, I can kind of see their point. I can kind of see where they're coming from with that. And you're like, oh, shit, yeah, okay, maybe I do need to look at that. Maybe I need to now course correct my behavior based on this unwanted feedback.
Yeah, possibly. And I think the other thing to think about is, do you criticize yourself?
Not really.
No? I think it's something, no. If we're afraid of being criticized, if we're afraid of getting that shit, it's like, is it something we're already doing to ourselves?
Okay. Yeah, well, I probably don't fit the mold in that regard, though.
Good.
Like, I don't really criticize myself because I can't be wrong because I only speak from my experience and my truth. I'm not trying to tell anybody anything that's not something that I haven't personally experienced.
Yeah.
When we started talking about this, and I'm saying, I said, look, I actually said the words, I'm no expert in imposter syndrome or fear of success. This is what it feels like for me. And so because I speak from that place, I can't be wrong. So therefore I'm not afraid of, criticizing myself or being criticized for my own experiences.
Good. I am an expert on.
Yeah. And that's just it. People like you absolutely are. Like, if you're a doctor, like a medical doctor, and you're saying stuff about medical doctory stuff, then you better know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
Don't tell me, this one anecdote that I heard did this. No, I want to know what the peer-reviewed research said. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like, there's a difference. Whereas I'm a medical doctor, and I learn from experience, and then I have a gift of being able to share my experiences, and other people get to go, oh, I felt that way too. Now I'll see a way out the same way he saw a way out.
Yeah. But I think it's changing it in that subconscious programming. So there's a really interesting, I've kind of like just bastardized and made up this technique that I can take you through. Do you want to try it?
Let's go.
Yeah, and I think it's that as we up level and we move through these limitations or these fears, we have to update our identity as we do it.
Yep.
And we've got to integrate that in both sides of the brain, right? Because we can be right brain dominant or left brain dominant, or, yeah, it's just, this technique can help to integrate how you want to be.
Okay.
So so with this, we want to create or really integrate yourself with that identity of how you want to be. Like really put it into the subconscious. And the subconscious thinks in pictures. It doesn't, you can tell it, oh, you're fine and you're safe. And it's like, that's nice. So you need to show it. So I want you to just get a picture in your mind's eye. So close your eyes and just get a picture in your mind's eye of yourself with the qualities that you want to change. All right? So with whatever they are, fear of success, worry about people attacking you or being nasty to you when you don't deserve it. Not that you would deserve it. But so just get a picture of that, okay? So is that image in color or is it in black and white?
Color.
Is it clear or is it blurry?
Okay, so we're starting with the negative.
Yeah,
okay?
We're going to start with seeing you with the qualities that you're wanting to change, like not the ones you want to have, but the ones you want to change.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, I'm same. Yeah, interestingly, that were more black and white.
Okay, good. Yeah. It's more black and white. Is it still
third person?
Yeah.
Still third person close-ish.
Yeah. How old is the person in that?
It's me.
So you right now?
I'm 41. Yeah.
Is there a physical feeling or an emotion connected with that when you look at that?
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of sadness.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a little bit of disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the scene because it's me in my bedroom in Mexico. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at the scene like it's a bit sad. It's a bit, you could be so much more if you just fucking get up from there and go do something.
And what side is it on? Is it on the left or on the right? Or somewhere else?
The left.
Okay, so it's on the left. So that image. Okay, so then I want you to see yourself in another, let's say on the right, that has no fear of success, that is kicking ass, that is making so much fucking money, it is ridiculous, but you're not a wanker, is utterly and completely fulfilling your potential, changing people's lives. So really get a clear picture of that. And is it in color or is it in black and white?
Yeah.
It's in color.
Oh, it's in color.
Is it clear? Is it blurry?
It's, again, it's reasonably clear. It's slightly further away. Like I'm sort of probably 40 meters away looking into it now instead of 2 meters away looking into it.
So the other one, which had the qualities that you're wanting to change, that was closer.
It was 2 meters away.
2 meters.
Yeah, I was like 2 meters away watching me, and now I'm about 30 or 40 meters away watching me.
Okay. And how old is that person?
Same age.
Same age.
It's me right now.
Okay. Is there any sound that comes with that image?
No.
And what is the emotion? What's the physical response that comes up for you?
It is the opposite. It's just like, yay. Like, yay. Like that's who you should be. It's who you are. That's why it feels like now, and it feels real. It's like that is who you are.
Yeah.
You've almost just got to peel off the other version to just let this one be.
Looking at the two pictures. So now I want you to look at both pictures.
Yeah.
And one is, let's say, the ideal self, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll call the other one the information image. It's just giving you information.
Yep.
So what skills or resources that are in the information image that actually would enhance that ideal self? Is there stuff that you could bring over that actually would make that one even better?
From the old picture?
Yeah.
No.
No. So there's nothing.
No.
Okay. Is there anything that needs to be added to the ideal self image? No? It's just perfect right now?
Yeah. It's like, it's just, it's not far away.
So I want you to bring those two images together. You can put that ideal self over the top of that information image, but bring them together and have them become one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want you to bring that image right up close, right up to your face.
Yeah.
And I want that ideal self to give you a message. So just imagine that you don't have to say what it is, or you can if you want, because this is a podcast, so that might be helpful.
Yeah.
But just have them give you whatever advice or whatever it is that you need to receive from that.
Like, he's just like, stop being a dick and just do it. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not, there's nothing really holding you back. Like, you've actually just got to go and do it. You have everything you need. You actually just have to go and do it.
All right. So I want you to just move that image in your mind to all the way to the left, and then all the way to the right. And then I want you to imagine it going in a counterclockwise circle, and then going clockwise. And bringing then the image right up in front of you and make it as big as you are now. And then, in whichever way feels right to you, just step into that image. And just feel all the cells, all the molecules rearranging, realigning, becoming one with that version of you. Your mind, your body, your soul, all forming a blueprint that aligns with this self utterly and completely. And I just want you to imagine going through your day as that version of you. And just seeing, how are you different?
I don't avoid things.
And just imagine things being easy, without fear. I'm just absolutely certain that you'll get the outcomes that you want to have, and it's safe for you to be successful. And just imagining your subconscious mind will just adjust whatever needs adjusting to align you with this version of you, this becoming your identity right now as we speak. So all actions, all thoughts, all behaviors just align with this self. So you're taking action quickly, you grab opportunities and you do them. And you know it's safe for you to really up-level. Just seeing any opportunities that you'd like to manifest in the next few months. Just seeing those happening, whatever they are. And just seeing it all flowing. And then when you're ready, you can just open your eyes. How you doing?
Good.
Cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, when I meditate and when I connect with the universe, I cry. I don't know why, just the way it always is. And so, like, I almost kind of know that it's working and I'm in the right space then when I've got little tears coming out, which is cool.
Cool.
I mean, the simple thing for me there is that It seemed so achievable. It seemed so very close. The two images that I had, the first is in my current house in Mexico, where I sit on the bed a lot and work from the bed because we have a small one-bedroom apartment, and that place is not the place to work from. That place is what's holding me back there. And then we have a piece of land in Mexico that we can't afford to build our house on, but I have designed the house, and so I can see that house perfectly in my mind because I designed it. And this was me sitting out on our balcony working from there. And like the balcony is my office, and that's where I work from. And even just that simple switch from the bed to the balcony seems so simple.
Yeah.
But it's like that's where the new picture comes from. It comes from out there and not in the bedroom.
And this is in your apartment, or is this in the house that you're going to build?
It's in the house I'm going to build.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's, and I mean, so I'm probably
that you can afford.
Yeah. Well, I can't afford right now.
Can.
That's the whole thing.
No.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm about $80,000 short of affording it. So
hey, we asked for 10 grand last time, right? So
exactly, and we got it. So we need $80,000 this time.
Okay, so let's get 100, because 80.
All right.
No, I just never want to. I always have to add a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just going to put that out to the universe right now.
Yeah.
That you are going to get $100,000, and it doesn't matter how it's going to happen, right? Don't worry about that. It does not matter. It's just putting that order out into the universe.
Yeah.
One thing.
All right. I need $100,000.
Yeah. You have $100,000 coming to you now. It's on its way.
I have $100 coming to me.
Yeah. One technique I find really good for manifestation is you imagine a part of your energy, like this little ball of light forming in your gut or your heart or wherever, and it's separating from you. And imagine it taking form. And it could look like a person. It could look like, I don't know, an angel or a unicorn or whatever you want, whatever floats your boat, whatever pops into your head. And what you do is you give it a home. So a home could be a painting or a piece of art or a statue you have. It needs to have some type of home that it lives in. And you need to make a food for it. So it could be food. What I always do for my little manifestation energy thing is its food is praise, right? Because that's what I love is words of affirmation. So you give it a food.
Me too.
And you send it off into the universe asking it for what you want. All right. So it's like, hey, I need $100,000 pretty quick so that we can, from a positive source. So I definitely know people who felt like they blocked that because they were like, oh, well, I don't want that because someone I love dies, or you know what I mean? Something like that, right? So we're going to say it's going to come from your genius and how you help people and work opportunities.
Yeah, because I could very easily stumble across a bag full of $100,000 in Mexico that's not good money, and if I took it, I would get in trouble.
Exactly. So that's what we're saying. We're going to say it's because of your creative genius and you're helping people, and it's going to be through amazing business opportunities that's coming, and it's going to come quick. Yep. But yeah, I think, and it's just so after this, just do a little meditation with that and imagine it forming and send it out into the universe. And that's been mind blowing for me. I always have to go back and remember to do it, but it's like unbelievable shit has shown up in my life. And it's funny, I'll do that with people, and like I had one woman who came back and she's like, oh, that didn't really work. And I was like, oh, did you not get what you wanted? And what she needed was $50,000. And she's like, yeah, my mother gave it to me. So, and I'm like, did you get $50,000 or not? Like, hello. Didn't work.
Yeah, but I want to bring up something outside of the manifesting, which people may, if they're listening, they may get hung up on this, that I need $100,000 to end up in that place in my picture to then be that person. Yeah. And that's not the case. Even though I don't have that house on that balcony right now, I need to be taking steps between those two pictures. Yeah. And I can be that new picture without having that house.
Exactly. Coming from that place of gratitude now for the positive things you have right now and that appreciation. And then that just builds. That just is a good energy. And I think it's like when you see someone who's got shit tons of money or is driving a new Ferrari or whatever that is, it's that having that energy of like, good on them. That's fucking amazing. And yeah, I am that too. I have that as well. So yeah, there's so many different techniques I could do, but I think, yeah, we should do it. We'll do another one and we'll do some other techniques. I don't want to be too technique heavy. Well, I think we've covered enough ground for today. Stay tuned because we're going to be posting another podcast very soon where Jimmy and I answer a listener's question having to do with Instagram and jealousy, and we really get into it. So it'll be very interesting. But if you like this podcast, please give us a 5-star review and share it with your friends. And if you have any questions about anything, or you just want to tell us your crazy story, write to us at WTF Stories and Advice. That's us for today. Bye.